Spring is here. Flowers and trees blossom. It is time to cultivate and sow your fields. The game is synchronizing after the fast forward. That is because I just slept in my house for 12 hours. So I'm going to let it run at 120 times speed. It is now the first day of spring, but the ground is still frozen, so I cannot do anything with it anyway. The only thing I have to do is feed the chickens and maintain the cattle. By about the middle of spring, I should have my first newborn calf. Whether or not it's going to be male or female, I have to wait to see. Either way, I will finally be producing or getting ready to sell, not myself producing, but the cattle will be producing milk finally. Before I dump all that in there, I want to clean the mess. Otherwise, the mess won't go back into the trough where the cattle feed. That's basically cattle food. So always clean first and then add the TMR. Now over to maintain the chickens, give them feed, and clean up after them. Then I keep doing that until around mid-spring when the ground thaws. I'm going to purchase a couple things. The Challenger, made by Challenger, Interrogator, which is a 45,000 liter manure spreader, costs $175,000. Also, I need to purchase and invest in a better harvester, which I believe is around $465,000, which I will have enough. The reason I will have enough is because I make around $40,000 to $50,000 per day, depending on a couple factors like how windy it is, whether or not it's raining, how much sun there is that day for my solar panels, property income, which I have placed all over my farm, different property mods, which nets me a little over $2,000 an hour. You probably noticed in the upper right hand corner. So if you take a look now at the cattle need straw. So I need to actually slow time down to about 5 times speed. Jump over into my small tractor, which is set up to do that type of stuff. As you can see, I have no more horses right now. I sold them. Horses with seasons can get kind of annoying. Even though I only had 2, every single day, I had to ride them each for 5 minutes, then brush them off, which is no big deal, but the riding around for 5 minutes every day got monotonous and boring. So I sold them for now, just so I could speed things up. To slow down the game for 10 minutes every single day, I'm doing 9 days per season. 9 days of winter, 9 days of spring, 9 days of summer, etc. Whoops. Riding horses every single time. Doing that for 10 minutes. That's an hour and a half per season. Which after a while gets boring. That's just the way I am. It gets really boring. To the point where, okay, I'm done doing this. It's almost like you want just to push a button and it does it all for you. Here. Take it, let it drop. There, did you see it? You may have to rewind a couple, 10 seconds. And you notice how the straw just all of a sudden appeared. This bale is reset. I can just leave it over here now. Right where it was. And the game will continue to draw off of it and use it as needed. So that's all set. Let's take a look again at the animals. The cleanliness, the water, no big deal. I'll just go over here, get into this truck which has the water. There's about 9,800 liters. So now it's giving them the water they need. And now if I leave it like that, it will continue to feed them water as long as there's water in that tank. What happened was I just restarted this application. I was playing a different game. One of my games I play while I'm not playing FS19 just to change things up so I don't get bored. One of those games which I'll never record. It's just one of my go-to games. I believe it's Civilization 6. And there's a free poker game that you can play that's not with real chips. It's all fake money. But it's just fun to get away from. So that's why I needed to reset the straw, reset the water. And everything else is fine. The cleanliness is taken care of. So now I can go back to fast forward, 120 times speed. Walk over to my house. Take another 14 hours, 15 hours, depending on what it will let me do to go to the next day. And the harvester, I should have enough money by the time it's harvest time. But I want to review the Terragator. I'm going to go purchase it after this day. We'll fast forward 15 hours. That's how much it'll let me do. In the summertime, you cannot sleep as many hours. In the wintertime, you can because it gets dark earlier. The game will let you sleep more hours. Which is probably what it is like in real life for farmers. Oh, we got rain and snow. The game is synchronizing after the fast forward. Now, I'm going to purchase the Terragator, but I can't use it yet unless the ground is starting to get thawed. But then the snow has to melt away. So as we wait for this, I'm going to purchase the Terragator next. I'm going to purchase manure just to see how much it costs to fill it up. I already do have enough manure. Right there it says I have 43,000 liters of manure. Now I planned it perfectly because this Terragator will hold 45,000 liters. But I'll have to load that up with my wheel loader attachment. But I'm just curious how much it actually costs to buy the manure. So we're at 9 o'clock in the morning. The animals should be fine for now. Yeah, the cattle pasture's fine. The chicken pasture coop is fine. Now, in order to get this, believe it or not, it's under crop protection. It's not under what you would think it would be. Because it's not really protecting the crops. That's for herbicide, I believe. But here it is, the Terragator. Now here's the thing, in the mod hub it is not under crop protection. I think it just automatically comes with the PlayStation 4 version. It also comes with the PC version, but on the PC version there's 3 different types. Here I'm on PlayStation 4, there's just the one model. That's it, you get what you get. I did check to see if there was an update and there isn't. I actually couldn't not even find it in the mod hub. So it makes me wonder if it's just a base item. Like I say, for PC, there's 3 different types of models. I can pick colors here, but I'm just going to leave it at the base colors that it comes with. There's no other options. All you can do is just buy it. Yes. It's at the store. Now I'm going to teleport there by hitting the left D-pad. It will teleport to the most recent item you have purchased. Left on the D-pad. There's the headers that I'm going to have for my future harvester, which I don't need yet. You can see it's snowing in early spring. That is because I'm with the Shelby Montana Geo, which is only available along with Seasons. You have to have the Seasons mod, and then you can pick a Geo. Now here I should be able to purchase manure. Yes. Let's see how much it costs. It will tell me. In the future, of course, I'm going to be using the manure that the cows are making me for free. $3,000. Now, see, that's very cheap. But with all the fields that I have, I will show you, that's going to get expensive very fast. Some of these fields will be combined later to make one large one. But for now, this was for the purposes of explaining precision farming, which I made videos for in the past. Let's look at the interior. By the way, I believe this is only 12 slots. I didn't really look, but I did do my homework. This is cool. This is immersion. I like this. The engine is nice and quiet. Cool, it makes nice, realistic sounds. It looks cool. I cannot use it though at the moment because the ground is still frozen. But it's cool, nonetheless. It will be a nice investment. It will save me time. And like I said, because I'm going to be combining fields, because I want to make some really large fields to provide more fun and entertaining content. The fields that I have made were all made about 9 months ago when I first started precision farming, which was also the same time precision farming was released. Its published date was in December. I believe it was December 8th, December 7th, something like that. I started making precision farming vehicles the day it was released. Because I had the Seasons Pass, it was free. So I wanted to be one of the first people in the world to make precision farming videos, and I was. That is why my fields look so crazy and make no sense. I didn't care about how nice they looked, whether or not they were square. I didn't really care. I just chopped down a bunch of trees. Lots of trees. I believe I chopped down about 110 trees to make room for all these fields. Then, of course, I had to get rid of the tree stumps. So it was a lot of work at the start. And then I made the videos for precision farming, and wow, did I get the views. I knew I was one of the first people to do it, and that was the whole point of making the fields as fast as possible. So if anybody's wondering what's up with my fields, there you go. There's your answer. So we're going to store this in my wide open storage garage here until around mid to late spring when I can finally start using it. Now I need to talk about something else which has not perturbed me from playing this game, but it's very upsetting. I used to have precision farming. Now it is all of a sudden gone, and I don't know how it happened. I do have an idea of how it happened. I was in the mod hub for about 2 hours back on August, I believe it was August 9th at about 10 p.m., between the hours of 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. I was deleting and adding mods. I went to my career, this save map. All of a sudden precision farming was gone. Now you need to watch a video on my channel where I talk about it. Can't miss it. The video is, I made 2 of them. One back in August when it happened, and then another one just recently, about 2 weeks ago. As you can see, it's just seasons. The precision farming has been taken away. For those that are familiar with it, the field info is for the regular versions of seasons. That is upsetting. But I'm still here. I have crop destruction turned on. Now here it says fertilized at around 98%, 92%, 97%, so I don't need to fertilize over these. But I am going to use that manure spreader on this barley. It still needs one more application. But in the precision farming version, when I did have it, which I'm not sure how it got deleted because DLCs cannot be deleted. They are simply just chosen from the career menu whether or not you want them in your game. They cannot be deleted. So I don't want any comments saying maybe you deleted it. Nope, it's a glitch, and it happened in the mod hub with either I added or took out a certain mod that doesn't agree, and precision farming was deleted from all of my save games. Completely just deleted from my game. Glitched out. So I'm debating whether or not I should turn crop destruction off in order to fertilize the rest of this field. Which, like I said before, with precision farming, it completely changes everything. You only need 2 fertilizations instead of 3. Precision farming is way better. It's more complicated, but it's way better. You'll get more yield from your crops, and less fertilizing steps are needed because it's more realistic. With the base version of Seasons, which this is now, without my doing, just somehow defaulted to it, the fertilization now is just 33, 66, 100. Whatever you want to choose, whether it's manure, whether it's another type of fertilizer. 3 applications, for example here, fertilized 33%. I actually spread manure across this entire field, and because it's not the first time that I've used it, I've actually had other crops here previously. That manure, since it's so powerful, put the fertilizing at the optimum level for the wheats that are growing here. In other words, 100%. With precision farming, it doesn't say 100%. I believe it's 180 out of 180 or 200 out of 200 for the nitrogen values. But here, as you could just say in Seasons, it's just called fertilized. It's a much more simplistic way, but it's not as realistic as precision farming. So I'm going to most likely have to turn off crop destruction because I don't think I should be penalized to have to refertilize these just with the regular Seasons mod and be penalized with crop destruction. I've never really played with crop destruction turned off because it's a game. I'm thinking, what's the point? It's a simulation. Why is crop destruction turned off? That's just me. So I've always had crop destruction turned on because I want to feel realistic enough to where I'm immersed in a game that I'm playing. And crop destruction, I think, should be mandatory in my opinion, because what's the point of playing the game if you're not going to have crop destruction turned on? It doesn't really bring any type of game value to always have it turned off, in my opinion. I hope that makes sense. That's just my play style. If anybody else out there who plays with crop destruction turned off, hey, that's great. That's great. Do your thing. Do your thing. Here we have 66% fertilized. This was at 100 because I added manure. In precision farming, manure is your best fertilizer. I think it might also be in the regular version of Seasons. Depending on when you plant your crops, I think if you use manure, it may give you a bonus. I don't remember. But manure now is pretty much going to be my main way of fertilizing. And I haven't played just regular version of Seasons in so long without the precision farming mod, I really don't remember what's going to happen. So when I do review this, and I turn crop destruction off instead of on, like I always do, like I've always done, this will be the one example where I don't have crop destruction turned on. Even though it bothers me, there is a legitimate reason for me doing that and to break my own rules. My own rules, okay? Everybody has their own play style. That's just mine. This is pretty cool. Very, very cool. So that's basically what I'm waiting for. That'll be in the next video. Have a great day, everyone. Leave a like, and if you have not already, subscribe. It lets me know that I should make more types of videos like this.